Power standard number 4, determining word meaning. Probably the most hardest of the power standards we're going to be learning. So, the two main focuses for this power standard is so that we can master and be able to say, I can determine the meaning of words, figurative, denotative, and connotative, as they are used in the text. I can analyze the impact of word choices on the meaning, tone, and theme of a text. So, by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to analyze a text and determine figurative meaning. Now, figurative meaning means the literary meaning, the deeper meaning, when you use words with similes and assonance, consonants, onomatopoeia, metaphors, things of that nature. Determine the connotative meaning. Remember, we learned that connotative is the emotional connection that you have to a word. Like home has two meanings. Understand connotation. Understand how words impact meaning and tone. And identify the overall impact of words in a text. And then to determine the formal versus informal tone of text. So there's 4 important steps needed to master power standard number 4. First step, you want to master the use of context clue devices to help us better determine the meaning and impact that words have on text. You want to begin learning that all words have multiple meanings, denotative, connotative, and figurative. Remember, denotative is that dictionary literal meaning of a word. Connotative is the emotional connection you make to a word, and figurative is the deeper meaning that a word can have. 3, realize that all writers carefully choose words that will have the most impact on the reader, you. And lastly, 4, begin practicing this skill every day with the things we're reading inside as well as outside of class. So let's practice one real quick. So on the left, you see this text. It's from the poem called Touchscreen. Now it's even more difficult to connect now that clicks form friends, but who am I to judge? I face Facebook more than books face me, hoping to book face-to-faces, update my status 420 spaces to prove that I'm still breathing. Failure to do this daily means my whole wide world will forget that I exist. So, how does the author's use of the word book impact the tone of the text? Well, first we have to determine what the tone is. So the tone is kind of maybe judgmental a little bit. He is calling out his addiction to online media, apparently, or his use of digital devices. So now we have to discuss the word book. So let's look at how he uses book. Well, we see it's here used in Facebook. I face Facebook more than books face me, hoping to book face-to-faces. So in this one section, in these stanzas, I believe it's lines 18 and 19 and 20, he uses the word book in different figurative ways. First, he says, I face Facebook. That alone itself is a play on words, aka a pun, because he's facing Facebook. But the pun in that, or the irony in that, is that you can't really face Facebook because Facebook is an online site. More than books face me. So then he flips the word Facebook. So he's telling you that he faces something that's not really real, more than something that he can't touch, as opposed to facing books, something that he can touch, something that he can maybe interact with. And he does this. He goes, and the irony is, let's go to line 20. He faces Facebook more than books face me, hoping to book face-to-faces. So now he's completely changing the meaning of book, because now the meaning of book is not something that you read, but book, something that you schedule. But you can't go online trying to schedule faces to faces. He's basically saying that you should stay in books. Then here's another question you're often asked when determining word meaning. Which words or phrases specifically impact the meaning of the tone? Well, you could go back to the words face and Facebook, how the author is using those to basically call out users of digital media who are so addicted, so entrenched into their digital media that they have lost the meaning of what living really is, and that now living for them is updating their status 420 spaces to prove I'm still breathing. You don't have to prove you're still breathing by just updating a status. You're simply still breathing because you're alive. So this is just a few of the things we're going to be discussing in this power standard. So now it's time to play a little tic-tac-toe. Assess what you know.